Hey guys, Grumpy here with the loot video for the Atlas guide that I published a little earlier. In this video, we're going to run 20 maps and go using our strategy. Again, that's running City Squares and Vaal Pyramid with Harbinger, Expedition, Gilded Metamorph, and Bestiary. We're running 20 maps. 20 maps is roughly what you can expect to run in an hour. It's also a good baseline because that's where you can expect to get one Cricket Chimeral as well as 2 to 3 Phenomal Arachnids. So let's see how much we make. I believe in the video I said you can make 3 to 5. This is without sextants. So let's see if that's like accurate. And then let's go ahead and real quick look at the breakdown of costs and see what we're going against. So here are the costs. So we paid 1 chaos for our Bestiary Scarabs. We paid 1.7 for Expedition, 1.4 for Harbinger, 5 for Gilded Metamorph. We paid 1C each for our Remnants. Estimated that it's going to be 100. I don't know if that's accurate, but we should get roughly 5 essences per map, so we'll see what the over-under is on that. And then we're paying 3 chaos for each map to open essences, which is going to cost us 60 chaos total. So we're looking at spending about 13.1 chaos per map, and it is going to be a total of roughly 2 divine investment. So in order to hit our 3 to 5, we need to earn between 5 to 7 divine in an hour. I think that's definitely doable with this strategy, so we're going to go ahead and see. With that baseline established, let's go ahead and jump forward. I'm going to run these 20 maps, and I'll see you in a second. So wanted to include this just to show kind of how I'm running these maps. So I'm gonna do a city square and then I'll do a Vaal temple. Basically we're just blasting through the map. We're looking for our essences. We're looking for our rare beasts. So this is a red beast that we don't care about. It's a devourer. It's not one of the ones we're looking for. This crab we don't care about. It just happens to be in the way, so we're gonna end up killing it. We're gonna pop this essence. And then, so here we got Danig, which is really nice. But basically the way we run this is we don't even pay attention to the remnants. Because we do poison damage, as long as we don't do chaos and physical, we should be fine. And basically all we want to do is just light up all the skulls. And the skulls are going to be what gets us our reroll currency and what gets us our logbooks. So now that I'm fairly confident that I got most of it, we're going to go ahead and detonate. Clear this out. See if we get any rerolls. We might get one up here. Okay. Looks like we don't get any, which is unfortunate. But that's fine. Only costs us 1 chaos, so we just keep going. We don't care about this red beast, so we skip it. We don't really care about yellow beasts, we're gonna have plenty. We drop Vaal summoned skeletons on top of that Harbinger, let them deal with it. Then we keep going. Okay. Keep going. Come up here. Deal with this. And the way I'm running my maps is I'm kind of chaining things together. Right, so I'm trying not to stay in one area for too long. We have a King Harbinger here, but we also have bosses here. So something that I want to do is drop our skeletons off there and then fight this Harbinger up here. So that way we're not wasting time. Then we check in, our bosses are dead, there's no good loot there. Then we come back, we scout out whatever's next. Then we come back. Our Vaal summoned skeletons is up, so we pop that. Then we just leave the area, we listen for any swings. We don't get any, but we pick up our shards. And we go on to the next event. That red beast is a tiger, I believe. We don't really care about that. I'm gonna grab our essences here. And then that'll conclude the map. So the last thing we do after we kill the bosses is we just summon Tane, or Tane, I guess. And we do the same thing. So we run around Catalyst, Currency, Divination, and then Organs. So whenever there's not a good choice, we just grab Organs so we can boost that juice on the side. Not really anything good there. And then Currency. Pop our summon skeletons, put down the Vaal, or what's it called? Despair. Look at our enchants. None of these are good. And then we just run it again. Alright. So one of the really cool things about Mesomorph is we take a notable on the Atlas that basically gives an additional modifier to items dropped. And that additional modifiers are the same conversions that happen with Arch Nemesis. So sometimes you can roll all white sockets, fully linked. You can roll synthesized, fractured, all things like that. So you're not just getting regular items, you're getting kind of like super juiced items. Now in this case, these are terrible. But you just want to check. Sometimes you get a fracture, and I mean, it might be worth something. So we're dumping everything in our dump tab. This is a little bit of a spoiler, but it's going pretty well so far. And now we're going to go ahead and jump into a Vaal Pyramid. And it's the same thing. I kind of prefer the Vaal Pyramid because it's a little tighter and it's a little easier to run. Not easier to run, but you hit everything quicker. With City Square, there's just a lot more space in between. So we don't care about that red beast. It's like a floater kind of enemy, so we're just going to keep going. Want to make sure we get our essence. This is a wolf. We don't really care about that. Grab our essence of Hysteria there. Fantastic. One thing I suggest, something that I did is I went into the filter and I upgraded the top 4 essences, as well as deafening essences of contempt to the shrink sound. It just adds a nice little variety and gives you that dopamine that you're going to be missing doing a low tier strategy like this. You're not going to see a lot of divines. You're not going to see a lot of, big tickets. You will get a natural swing from fracturing shards from Harbingers, but those are very far and few between. So, just making it fun for yourself is what it's all about. Alright, and then last thing is we just sweep the bottom. Nothing else really here. Let's keep going. I do recommend a tighter filter. Right now I'm running my day 2 filter. It's not really going to be conducive for this strategy just because it's very busy. And you're bound to miss things. Really what you're just relying on is that any swings or the chaos drop sounds, you just investigate, see if it's worth it. And if not, you just keep going. So here we just want to make sure we get all the skulls. Okay. Physical and chaos is over here, so we want to make sure we don't brick our build. That seems like it's about it, so we're going to start this event. Oh, wow. That's cool. We got a ivory tower. It's interesting. I'm not going to include that in the loot, but I just think that chest piece is really cool looking. We get our logbook. So that's good. That's worth, depending what's in it, it's worth a few chaos. For instance, it's double Knights of the Sun. So it's saying it's worth about 20 chaos, 15 to 20 chaos. And then we also get a Black Scythe, which is worth about 15. So that pays for all the Expedition Scarabs for this farm, just from those two logbooks. Let's keep going. And I don't think I mentioned it at this point, but basically what I'm doing is I'm looking for the Mesomorph. I want to pop as many of those green bubbles as I can on the way to the boss. So that's a crab, we don't care about it. And make sure we get our essences here. Alright. Now let's keep going. We missed a portion of the map, which is unfortunate. We are going to go sweep it real quick because you never know what's over there. Turns out we didn't miss anything, which is good. But I found rare beasts over there that I would have otherwise missed. Alright. Let's go ahead and kill the boss. This is an example of essences that we wouldn't use remnants on because we're not going to get our currency back. It's not gonna convert to a higher tier, and it's not gonna be worth very much, even if it upgrades. So we're doing our same thing. We're grabbing currency, currency, catalyst. Oop, molten shell. You want to be careful. That still can hit very hard, even at these low tiers. And then same thing. Looking for currency, currency, and then an organ. Big Crocs bubble, nice. Oh, cool. We get our exalts, which is really nice. And that is that. That's the map. We leave that behind because that's all garbage. And yeah. So we have 15 more maps to go, but I'm guessing we already made up our investment. But anyway, see you at the very end once we tally everything and give you a rough idea of what we got. Alright, so here's the loot after 1 hour of mapping. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get through all 20 maps. We were only able to get through 10. The reason being is because our filter was just not good for this strategy. Just way too much junk on the ground. I spent a lot of time sifting through the trash instead of just blasting onto the next pack. So something that I'm going to work on is creating a custom loot filter for this farm. That'll be in the description so you can grab that as well and use that. Let's go ahead and pull up the results. And then we will end the video by breaking down the loot that we got. So here are the results. I cut all the quantities in half. And then the investment per map is still the same, 13.1 C per map. But our investment is 1 divine an hour, or 0.95 an hour. Our loot that we got was 2.7 divine an hour, or 485 chaos. With loot averaging 48.5 per map. And then the profit, unfortunately, we fell very short of our 3 to 5 divine an hour with 1.74. But I think this would be higher if we could get in and out of more maps. And then we'll talk about it when we get to the loot breakdown. We're missing a lot of items that we would get naturally in a 20 map sample. So moving on to the loot, I still think that being said, I still think it's a good strategy, right? You're still walking out with 50 chaos a map, 30 chaos worth of profit. So if you think of it in that terms, if you can run through more of these maps quicker, then you're gonna make more divine per hour. So it is what it is. We just personally fell short of that goal. So going into the loot breakdown, starting with our beasts, we have 2 Fenimore Plagued Arachnids and 3 Ferric Wolf Alphas. These are our notable beasts. Unfortunately, we didn't get a Kraken Chimeral, and that's what I'm talking about. If we were able to run 20 maps, we definitely would have got our Kraken. Also, we ran Rusted Bestiary Scarabs instead of Polished, which would have brought us from 1 additional red beast a map up to 2, and that would likely push us over the edge to get that Kraken almost guaranteed in those 20 maps. So with that 1 Kraken, we would have doubled our profit, which would have pushed us up to about 3 divine an hour. But it is what it is. Moving on from there, we have our currencies. So normally I consider alterations bubblegum, but because we have so many, you can sell this entire stack for about 12 chaos. And then our Harbinger currencies, we have about 45 C worth. We weren't able to put together a full Ancient Orb, which is sad. So I didn't include it in the profit. But if we would have ran polished Harbingers instead of rusted, we probably would have been able to put together one. Moving on, we have our catalysts. So catalysts, what you want to do with these is you want to vendor them. So they 3-to-1 into a random catalyst. And you want to vendor them and keep the prismatic, fertile, intrinsic, and unstable. These sell for the most. Intrinsic sell for 1 chaos each, but because you get so many, just hold on to them, and then you can sell them. But these sell, prismatic sell for 9 chaos, fertile and unstable sell for 4 chaos. So those are definitely worth holding on to. Next up, we have Expedition. Expedition, we have 4 logbooks and 10 maps. It's about what you'd expect with our investment. But what you don't really expect is that every one of these books is a hit. So each one of these is either Knights of the Sun or Black Scythe. So these are worth 20 chaos each. However, some of them should be just Druids of the Circle, or they should be Order of the Chalice, which means they're going to be worth closer to 10 chaos, maybe a little less. So I average these at 15 chaos a piece. And then the exotic coinage and buried medallions brings the stack up to 80 chaos. Our maps, we over-sustained, of course. These do sell for 1 chaos a piece. So whatever maps you don't need, you can definitely sell them. And then Mesomorph organs. So you could, in theory, sell these for 1 chaos each. But the problem is, I don't know very many people that are buying low-tier organs. Especially not for 1 chaos. So what I suggest you do is that you type /cur currency, the symbol above the backslash. I'm not sure what that's called. I think it's called a pipe symbol. And then you type exclamation kata. And what this will do is it'll highlight every organ that is not currency and is not catalyst. These ones are basically filler, right? They're useless. So if you have a bunch of excess ones, right? Like say we had a bunch of excess brains, we could vendor all the highlighted brains and vendor them 3-to-1, same as the catalyst, for a random organ and try to balance our sets that way. So that way we can run more sets in Tane's lab. So I'm not including these in the profit because this is just speculation. Roughly, I'd value these if you could sell these for 1 chaos piece at 40 chaos. If you got unlucky in Tane's lab, it might be 20 chaos. If you got really lucky in Tane's lab and you pulled the divine out, then it'd be worth 180 chaos. So it's just really hard to tell. For that reason, we don't include it in the profit. And then finally, our last bit of liquidatable currency is our essences. So we didn't naturally drop this, of course. We didn't drop 14 contempts, 9 loathings, 10 envies. We vendored our essences. So if you vendor them 3-to-1, they upgrade. And then I've re-rolled them using Primal Crystallized Life Force. So this is on the rather expensive side. I end up paying 1 chaos per 45 of blue juice, but it's definitely worth it. It's worth it for two reasons, or three reasons actually. The first reason is because you consolidate your essences, you are creating bulk, so they sell for more. The second reason is it cuts down on the trades. Instead of having to trade like one and twos here and there, you're just selling. I only have to make 4 trades now. Well, 5 trades with Essence of Hysteria. But realistically, I only have to make these 4 trades, and then I'm done selling essences. I don't have to deal with getting pinged for 30 different items. And then the third reason it's so good is it just makes you more advertisable, right? Like people aren't searching for 2 deafening essences of fear. They're not searching for 1 deafening essence of wrath, right? They want the big bulk. So by creating this, you show up higher when people filter out those ones and twos. So those are the reasons why you want to convert your essences. If you do this, I promise you're going to make more money than you spend. So we spent a total of about 81 chaos in blue harvest, but this stack, even though it looks small, is worth 231 chaos. So roughly 1.3 divine worth of essences. So that's our loot. That's how it breaks down. Down here is just bubblegum currency. This would be difficult. I couldn't really justify adding this to the list. This would be very difficult to sell and turn into actual chaos, but I did want to include it so you can see like what else you would get. Fractures. Check your fractures. Metamorphs are going to drop a ton of fractured loot. They're going to drop a ton of white sockets. They're going to drop some synthesized gear, but check your fractures. So this is fractured T2 life. If we go ahead and search up the base, this is worth about 10 chaos. I'm not including it in our profit because you can't expect to get this. But if you do come across this, something like this is worth 10. And then we have here an Imperial Bow with fractured T3 physical damage. This is massive. Currently, there are a few on the market varying anywhere from 25 chaos all the way up to multiple divine. So things you want to identify are bows 100% of the time. If you get a fractured flat elemental damage roll or fractured physical damage roll, that is huge money. So you want to identify all your bows. You want to identify scepters because you're looking for dot multi or fire multi or burning damage or flat fire. And then you want to identify quivers because you're looking for damage with bows, bows fire an additional arrow, wed on a bow, anything like that. So if you find those things, they're worth money. So definitely identify bows, scepters, and quivers. But other than that, oh, one last thing. This guy. So this is a fractured veiled leather belt. I got this from a Metamorph, and it took me several times to figure out what was wrong with it and why it was showing up highlighted on my filter. So Metamorph has a chance to reroll items, add additional like quality to it, or change the sockets, whatever. And then the organ that I used said drops fractured jewelry. So those two things happen to combine, and we get this lovely thing. It's worthless. No, like nobody's gonna use it, but it is interesting that we got something like this. So I'm gonna save it, and hopefully it ends up in like a meme museum or something. But anyway, that's the farm. 1.7 divines profit per hour. Sounds a lot less appetizing, but keep in mind, if you can run more maps than I can, then you are gonna make more profit. So realistically, another way to frame it is 31 to 35 chaos per map on average. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that video. I know it's a rather long one, but hopefully you learned a lot of good information. And still give this a try if you want. If you want like a low tier chill strategy. Anyway, other than that, Grumpy out.